In the gym, baby. With the MMA sensation over here, baby. You know who that guy is. Go, champ. We're getting ready, baby. Look at that body. Beautiful.
I want to give a quick shout out real quick to my boy Canelo Alvarez right here. He ain't on the Mexican meat yet, but one day he...
They made you the mandatory now for Gervonta, right?
Of course. That's beautiful, no?
Perfect.
And I'm pressing for that fight. And that's the fight I want. And that's why I called him out. And I've been calling him out for how long?
A couple years now.
A couple years now. And now it's a must. And literally all the stars are lined up to make this perfect. The only person that could bitch out now is Gervonta Davis. Known as a pure puncher. Like I said.
He is too?
I don't think he's a pure puncher. But I know something they don't know. And that's that.
Care to disclose that or hint towards it?
No.
Okay. But do you think, again, he walked down a bigger guy in Barrios, do you think he'd come towards you, or do you think he's boxing in that fight? That you're who's the aggressor in that fight, you feel like? Or does it change round from round?
It doesn't matter. He goes backwards, I fuck him up. He comes forward, I fuck him up. He goes sideways, I fuck him up. Or like anything you do, I fuck him up. Like, bro, like he's like this fucking tall, man. Like it's like, hey, little boy, stay over there, little boy, stay over there, right? That's how it is.
Recently on the DC and RC show, Daniel Cormier gave his thoughts on the new details regarding Jon Jones's arrest. DC also sent a message to Jon and said that Jon needs to get it together in order to be a good role model for his daughters and the rest of his family.
I remember when I saw Jones and his family on the red carpet for the Hall of Fame. I'm so removed from that rivalry that I actually felt happy for him.
Right.
Because his little girls aren't babies no more.
Yeah.
They're growing up to be beautiful young women. And it looked like he had his family with him. He was going to be celebrated. And then he goes out and does something like that to remind me why I felt so strong about disliking him. Because you start hearing these things and it's awful. It's actually really awful. And as the details come to light, it's actually going to be much more terrifying to think of the emotions that's tied to this whole thing.
Well, you know, DC...
One thing that stood out to me when I saw Jones, when I saw him on the red carpet, though, and I've got a lot of friends, Ryan, that are just sports fans. And you talk about the guys that party and live the hard life. The Jon Jones, the Dennis Rodman, Darryl Strawberry, right? Those guys, as they age, they start to wear the hard life on their face.
Yeah.
And Jon Jones now, you can see the hard life because he looks a lot older than he really is. He's still a young man, but he looks really old in his face, and so the hard life is showing. And one of my friends brought the Darryl Strawberry comparison to light, and I was thinking to myself, wow. And I think Dana said something so smart and so like telling the other day. When he said he's not even disappointed anymore, it becomes the expectation. Ryan, when bad behavior becomes the expectation, that should be the biggest wake-up call for you to get it together. Because there's no more disappointment.
Yeah.
So you got to get it right.
This week, Dan Hardy and Tyron Woodley have had a heated exchange of words back and forth on social media. Yesterday, Dan Hardy also decided to leak DMs from a heated conversation between him and Tyron. First off, Tyron wrote, "Keep my name out your mouth. You stay smiling in my face and the quickest to talk behind cameras and keyboards." Dan Hardy responded, "Mate, I talk to your face. You talk a big game and then the bad. You stood and stared at the kid for 8 rounds and then called for the immediate rematch. Laughable." Tyron also wrote, "You never tasted gold, you were a mosquito. I'm glad your post got you a little taste of greatness. When was your last fight? Don't think no one cares." Dan responded back, "When was the last time you showed up to a fight?" Tyron responded, "Keywords when I step in there. You washed. I'll mail you a dryer for Christmas. Be well, mate. You've been trying to tell me how to behave at the top for ages. I'll add a signed t-shirt too." Dan finally responded, "Your jokes, mate. Good luck with the rematch. Try hit him this time."
You already know this is Punk Drunk Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moonshine himself, a.k.a. El Adobo, a.k.a. El Sazón, a.k.a. El Borracho. Ladies and gentlemen, the fight with George Kambosos Teofimo Lopez is officially dead. Officially dead. The fight is not going to happen. Y'all already know that George Kambosos did not want to sign to change the date for the October 16th date. And also, highly credible source, a highly credible source. You already know your boy, Mr. Moonshine. Get the info. Teofimo Lopez has offered to pay George Kambosos $300K. $300K, the money that that George Kambosos was seeking for so he could change the date, has offered to pay him out of his purse $300K to get this fight done. And they have declined. They don't want the money, so they don't want the fight. Ladies and gentlemen, this whole thing has been full of drama, right? And the fight is not going to happen. Let me say this. Peter Khan, the manager of George Kambosos, which he's been flying under the radar. A lot of people has not been questioning him, nor the Kambosos team. Everything been going to the blame of Teofimo Lopez. He's the A side. He's the one that took it of purse bid and things of that nature. But you got to remember, Peter Khan, the manager of George Kambosos, was also the chief boxing officer, meaning he was the one that was running the boxing operation at Triller. This was the mastermind of George Kambosos and Teofimo Lopez was Peter Khan. You understand what I'm trying to say? He resigned September 16th. You got to remember, he resigned September 16th when a lot of things was all ambiguity with all these postponement and things of that nature. So how you say it in Spanish, sacate pie. At the end of the day, everybody was going on Teofimo Lopez team, in which I think everybody involved has an accountability to take. You know, he did change the date as well. Remember, this was in January, probably late December. They've been talking together. IBF gave them a 30-day extension so they could keep negotiating before even being ordered to be the mandatory. You got to remember, this was supposed to be in Australia. All this, man, they've been dealing with each other for a long time, and it's so sad that they couldn't come to fruition. Maybe there's not enough money in the pot, and Peter Khan knows that there's no money in the pot, and then he said, "Oh, I don't want to be in this situation," and he resigned September 16th. So, you know what I'm saying? This been a very, very drama. So the mastermind headed out. Everybody gets the blame. T.O., Ryan Kavanaugh, whoever gets the blame. But I noticed something. I noticed that Lou DiBella, George Kambosos, with all these postponement, really didn't say nothing in social media. And I got to the point where until they say something, then it's really going to be official, because it just can't be Teofimo Lopez, his dad. I also had McWaters. I interviewed Mr. McWaters. I've interviewed George Kambosos earlier this year. So look, it's been crazy, but the fight is dead. It's not gonna happen. Teofimo Lopez, and the worst thing that Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos has been off for a year. You know, Teofimo Lopez probably lost a lot of momentum, right? And George Kambosos is supposed to be in his prime right now, and I don't get it why he doesn't want to fight. I don't get it why he don't want the 300K. Maybe he want that money without getting hit in the head and take it to court and get some money, because I do believe he's going to get some money. I do believe that Teofimo Lopez is also going to get some money, because the fight is not coming through fruition. And for him signing that deal for the new date, they had to Triller had to cough up money, leave it in escrow if it doesn't happen. Not leave it in escrow, but cough up money. And if that fight doesn't come through fruition, Teofimo Lopez keeps that money for whatever amount it was. It was a good amount, right? So at the end of the day, financially, y'all already know that Teofimo Lopez reconstructed his contract with Bob Arum. A lot of people's going to say, yo, Bob Arum was right. He was a genius. He knew the value. Blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, it needed to take all this for Bob Arum and Top Rank to reconstruct the contract with Teofimo Lopez and give him what he's worth, even though that this fight didn't come to fruition. See, everything happens for a reason. So at the end of the day, Teofimo Lopez is going to get his money, maybe not from all of it from Triller. He did get the signing bonus when they did win the purse bid. You got to remember that. So he got some money off Triller. Kambosos probably got money off Triller because his manager is, you could say, is boxing Triller, you could say. So at the end of the day, man, it is what it is, man. It's a bad experience, but it's an experience they can all learn from. And this is boxing, man. You never know what happened in the sport of boxing, in the ring and outside the ring. But the fight is dead. It's not going to happen. George Kambosos could have been in the situation where he could have done what Teofimo Lopez did, you know, take less than what was promised to you, but he went through with it for Lomachenko and then became lineal for belt holder, undisputed, and all of that. George Kambosos, who's been working hard, IBF #1 rank, WBO #1 rank, he could have get that fight, probably follow his dream and things of that nature, but of course the business of boxing got in the way. It is what it is.